and welcome to my studio. I'm Naomi from Pigeon Art, and today we're going to be knitting. This is going to be a long-term project that I'm just going to do when I have spare time, as this is a present for some friends that are having a baby and we're not going to be seeing them until March. Editing Naomi here, it seems I completely forgot to mention that I am knitting a baby blanket in my intro, so that's what we're doing. I've got this tiny 4-ply yarn and I've got a fair bit of it with this ball, and I've got a couple of different colours, this one and this one. I used this yarn for a baby blanket before and it's very soft and it's really lovely. So I have started already, and as you can see it's very slow work. I didn't actually count how many I cast on, and it's really hard to know how big this blanket is actually going to be because it's all bunched up on the needles. I'm hoping it's not too big so I can actually finish it, and not too small so that it fits around the baby. I would like to do the whole thing in yellow but have some colour work. I have the smallest amount of purple. This would be a good way to show how to do colour work if you don't know how to do Fair Isle or the other types. So once this is done, I'll look for a pattern that I like, and we'll go from there. Fair Isle I've done before. I actually use this yarn for it and it's very beautiful, but it requires a lot of yarn of the second colour, and this is definitely not going to be enough. Straight into it. I thought this would be a good time to show you. I'm using a new knitting style. I think it's faster. It's not going to be faster at the moment because I'm still learning it. I'm holding the yarn in my left hand, not my right. I pick up the stitch and then go over it and then let go. So it's got the potential of being a lot faster. It's just a bit slow now for me because I am still learning it. So I'm purling there. So I'm doing a stocking stitch, and this is my purl row, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm doing the knits row. We're currently in December and we're not seeing them till March, so it gives me plenty of time to get this project done. Okay, so that was my last stitch on the purl. Let's do the knit stitch now. Sorry, my cord was in the way. I don't know if it was a problem the whole time, because it's just easier to pick up the back of the stitch there. And yeah, I am getting a bit faster at it, so I do think it is going to be eventually a much easier and faster stitch to do. Hello! So it's been quite a while since I've last worked on this. I have now finished the knitting. I will be starting on the design work. So the reason why I stopped working on this is because I sort of keep thinking it's so far away till we need to have it done, which it isn't so much anymore, but also because I was wanting to film how I was going to do this. So I'm going to be using this. There is a pattern that I would like to follow from it. It's between two of them, right? So I'm not sure if I want to do, so I fell out, but that's okay. I'm not sure if I want to do this one, just little simple hearts, or the flower. Something I need to decide quite quickly, because I will be starting now. And also I need to decide how I'm going to set it out. So this is a little bit wider than it is long, which is just because I ran out of yarn. But I think it'll still work. So I sort of need to decide whether I want to do rows of hearts or flowers, or if I want to do sort of random. It's a little bit on the big side for this yarn, but hopefully it'll be okay. Yeah, it still fits in the stitches, so that's fine. Look, I'm going to start with one in like a corner, maybe this corner, and then I can decide from there. And I will probably do the flower. That's what I sort of had in mind. I'd saved one from the internet, and then I realized I had one here, which would probably be easier to work with. I'm going to work from here, that way, and then I'll come back this way, that way, this way, and then so on. So I'm in here, I'm going to be following each stitch with my needle, and that's how I'm going to make the design as if it's color work. And then the next one. So you can see here I've just followed the stitch, and then follow the next stitch. So I need to do 3 stitches there for that design up here. And then that's going to make 1, 2, so one more. Three. 1, 2, 3. Now I need to go 1 over from there, so start on this stitch here. And I'm going to do it the other way because we're moving in that direction. Just keep readjusting the stitch tension so it's not too tight and not too loose. This one's a bit too tight. You can see the stitch underneath it, so I'm just going to readjust again. There you go. Okay, next one. One, two, three. You need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I've got 3 done. So this is a really simple way to make it look like you've done proper colour work, you know, Fair Isle or whatever, but just, you know, it's a lot easier than having to worry about holding 2 different yarn colours while you're knitting. Then it's up to you whether you like the fact that it's a little bit thicker. You can feel that it's just a little bit thicker than here. Personal preference, I suppose. Now, I'm sure there's probably a way I'm supposed to do this because I need to get all the way up here. So 4 stitches away from this stitch that I finished on. And there's probably a way to do it, like on the back of it, so it's not just loose. Let me just give it a go, see if it shows on the other side. Okay, so it doesn't show on the other side, so I'll keep doing that. And if I do 1, 2, 3, yeah, that's right. So you just work row by row, and then you just stitch by stitch. So I do 2, then I leave a gap of 2, so then it's 3. And then I'll leave a gap of 2. 1, 2, yeah, and then do 2 more. That's 1, 2, so this one here. Yep. But no, one down. Here we go. And so on and so forth. So I'm going to keep doing that off camera. It's been a little while and I've been embroidering away. So I have 1, 2, 3, and 4 in each, so 1 in each corner. And so this is around the place where my microphone dropped out, probably because I let it go as long as I could without changing the battery, so I had to expect it happening somewhere. So here I'm just saying that I decided to go for a heart in the middle, and I'm actually going to do 2 hearts, one facing upwards and one facing downwards, so that the blanket doesn't have one way up. And then I'm also mentioning that I remember now why I don't really like cross-stitching. I did make quite a few mistakes, even though I was doing my best not to. I kept saying to myself, I'm going to do this one right, I'm going to do this one right, and each time I didn't. So each one of the flowers is just that tiny little bit different from the other. Then I'm just gonna go and finish off this second heart and it'll be ready to go. So I've actually gone the extra mile with this one and blocked it. I have no idea what I'm doing. I have never blocked anything before, but here it is drying in the shade. I didn't know how I was gonna hold it flat, but I ended up putting a towel down on my clothes horse and pinning it down. It looks like it's dry, so let's find out. Still rolling up a bit, but definitely not as bad. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely better. I'm not sure if blocking actually works on acrylic fabrics, and I think this is what acrylic, so maybe I just wasted time. But anyway, it was well worth trying. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, feel free to give it a like. It really helps me out. I upload most Sundays with art, DIY and sewing videos, and I hope to see you then. Bye!